Hi guys, Marcus here at Mooloolaba Music, and today I'm going to share with you one of our new guitars that we've just got in. This is the Fender Mike McCready Stratocaster. So this is actually the second one we've got in, because the first one we got in a couple of weeks ago sold the day it arrived. So popular little unit, especially if you are a fan of Mike McCready. Now, I grew up as a big fan of the 90s explosion of alternative music, and amongst those were a lot of those great grunge bands, including Pearl Jam. Mike McCready being one of the lead guitarists in Pearl Jam, and his unmistakable style of playing, as well as his great tone. And one of the things that Mike was always known for was that sort of Hendrixy Strat tone that he had when he's playing his Stratocasters. You can see it in a lot of the live footage and the film clips as well from that era. So the Mike McCready Strat that they have released is based on Mike's very prized and very own 1960 Stratocaster. So his 1960 Strat is a beautiful instrument, and it looks very much like this because we've based the whole look on it, as well as the feel and the sound as well. So let's get into it and have a look what we've got on the Mike McCready Strat. So up here on the headstock, of course, we've got a very classic 60s Fender looking headstock. We've got our spaghetti logo. We've got our vintage style machine heads, vintage Fender machine heads. And on the back, we've got our Mike McCready signature. So nicely placed on the back. Coming down the neck, we've got a beautiful C-shaped profile, so a very classic C-shaped profile for Fender. And we've got a slab rosewood fingerboard, so 1960 based on, so we've got a slab rosewood, not a laminate rosewood. It's a nice thick piece of rosewood. And this one actually has a 9.5-inch radius, just like Mike's Strat is now. Medium jumbo frets, so very comfortable, vintage feeling Strat neck, very worn in. So we've got our road worn relic kind of finish on this, and the back of the neck is, I think, where that is really highlighted, and it actually is the most important part. It just feels great. It's really comfortably worn down like it's been played. All the fret ends, everything's just beautifully rolled off. The fretboard feels fantastic. So really great feeling neck. So as I said, 9.5-inch radius, so a little flatter than, say, maybe your old vintage 7.25s, but based on what Mike likes and how his Stratocaster is. Looking at the body, we can see there's a lot going on here. So based on the look of Mike McCready's 1960 Strat, which is worn down from years of use, probably from even before he received the Strat and before he got it. So we've gone for that same relic road-worn finish on here. It's a nitrocellulous lacquer finish on here, so it is a vintage spec'd out finish on this instrument, and obviously a beautiful three-tone sunburst as well. It's a really nice fade actually on that sunburst. I think they've done a really good job on that. Now the voice from this, we've got 3 distinct pickups that basically they're voiced the way that Mike's guitar is. So they're vintage voiced, exactly wound the same way his Stratocaster is. So they've tried to replicate exactly what kind of voice he's got coming out, the tone that he's got from his Stratocaster. All traditional sort of wiring in the way of master volume, and then we've got a tone control for the neck pickup and a tone control for the middle pickup. Bridge has no tone control, so wide vintage. It does have the 5-way switch, so you got still your 5 positions, so you can get all your position 2 and position 4, your in-between sounds there. So if you want to crack out something like Yellow Ledbetter or Little Wing, whichever way, you're going to get that great tone out of that. It's exactly the right voice for it. So vintage style bridge, of course. So we've got our 6-screw bent steel saddle bridge, the synchronized vintage bridge. Now the back of it, if you have a look, you can see we have no backplate on here, so we can see everything that's going on inside the bridge. It comes standard with 5 springs in there. So if you're using your tremolo, you'll find that it's gonna sit right back against the timber when you're not using that trem, but it's not a heavy hand, but a light touch will just give you that nice vibrato on it. But it's made to snap straight back to place and sit solid against the timber. Of course, you can always set your bridge up differently if you like it a little lighter. I love the way this is set up. So fantastic guitar. We've just got the one back into stock at the moment. We're hoping to get more if we can. Very popular. If you're a Pearl Jam fan, if you're a fan of Mike McCready, or if you just like cool looking vintage Stratocasters with a great sound, then this guitar is something you really should look at and come and try out. Please drop into the shop. We'd love to talk to you all things Fender, all things Strat. We can definitely chat Mike McCready. I can talk a lot of Pearl Jam with you. Big fan here. So come on down, have a little listen for it for yourself. If you want to hear how it sounds, you can go listen to any classic Pearl Jam song or Mad Season song that Mike played on. I might have a little bit of a jam around, but see if you like it. Thanks so much.